first question. What's your earliest memory? Ladies first. Your earliest memory.
When you were younger. Baby.
It wasn't real young.
Well,
We lived on Railroad Street, and because it scared me so, I guess I remember it more than anything else. Nobody locked their doors back then, and a man just walked in our living room. He was drunk. and
that wasn't Dad, was it?
No. This was an old man. You know, there was a lumber yard not too far away, and he just missed his lumber yard. And Daddy said, Mister, I think you're in the wrong place. And he just kind of eased him out. He was real gentle with him, but it scared me to death that this strange man was. And of course, I had all kind of friends around there and played a lot, but I don't. Well, I had fun.
Okay. Dad, what's your earliest memory?
Well, I must have been 3, maybe 4 years old. We lived on Kaiser Avenue in Bessemer, Alabama, behind the Second Baptist Church, and in a rent house. And the people next door had a maid, and she'd bring her little boy when she came to work, and I'd play with him. And I had an ambulance, a toy ambulance. And he wanted to play with that ambulance every time he came. Can I play with your ambulance?
Was he black?
Black. And then one time I remember, it came a hailstorm, a huge hailstorm, and it piled up on the back porch so that you couldn't even open the door.
Wow.
But it melted off pretty quick. And I think Carolyn was born in a baby when we lived in that house. But that's my earliest.
Okay. What kind of, think about your childhood, back to your childhood and different places you lived and games that you played, toys that you played with, playmates that you had, friends that you had, and just start sort of letting your mind drift back there, and we'll start with you, Mom.
There you go.
Well, I had a doll always, and I played house a lot, and there was a bear placed under a tree, and we used to go sweep all the leaves out and draw rooms, and had a bunch of little old girls around there that loved to do that. So didn't have a swing or anything, and I remember Mother having to wash outside on an old tin tub and a scrub board, and I thought that was, well, I didn't know any better. I thought everybody did that, and they may have back then. Mm-hmm. My worst, besides seeing that man come in our house that I didn't know, because Daddy bragged on President Roosevelt so much and thought he was so wonderful. When he died, I just thought it was the end of the world. I thought, well, that's it. We're all doomed. Hmm. But that shows how much you can, how much stock you can put in what you hear in one person and all that. But anyhow, so let me think about it with little girl again. Took piano lessons, loved that. Was in recitals. Had a lot of friends at school.
Did you play with Bubba?
Not much, no. See, it was 5 years difference. He had his own little friends. No, I didn't. I remember getting really worried when he got hit in the head somehow and he lost his memory.
Well, that explains a lot, doesn't it? It's all brain damage.
And I thought he would never be all right again, and he wasn't that whole night. And Mother and them, she called everybody, and everybody prayed all night just about. And the next morning, he was just fine and knew what had happened, remembered what had happened, and everything.
Dad, what about your early childhood memories?
Well, when we lived on Center Street in an old rambling house, when the weather was bad, our best fun was jumping on the beds.
Poor old Nanny. Poor old Nanny.
And when we played outside, we played cowboys and Indians and built little tents out of big weeds, and used to go up on the mountain and just run around, shoot BB guns.
There wasn't a lot of
Firecrackers
restrictions, was it, up there?
Not many. We'd always come home when we got hungry and tired.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, we'd just be out going. I played a lot with my cousin Henry, Aunt Lily's boy.
Who died early.
He got killed in a bus wreck in his teens.
Mm.
But I used to get him in more trouble because his mama was real strict. We'd go off and be wading the creeks and catching minnows and getting dirty and muddy and come back way late, and she'd just
That's
beat
why,
on him
that's why
mercifully.
she didn't like you.
What kind of things do y'all remember being with the family? Did you have family dinners together, and what kind of stuff did you eat, or did you go on picnics? Did you do family vacation and things like that? Mom, you go.
Okay, yeah, we did. It was always with church folks, you know. I remember going to Gulf Shores, and the women that couldn't even wear bathing suits. They just wore dresses and got wet. And family dinners, yeah. And we used to go up in the country from Mother's side of the family, and man, they had such good food. And then of course we always had Sansom reunions, either in Montgomery or down here, and everybody brought food, and we were always having people over just to our house. It was church people, you know, but Mother was always a good cook, and they loved to come, and that's about all I remember.
What kind of food did you have at those kind of gatherings? And
Just like when y'all came along and we all ate at her house, just all kinds of stuff. Meat was a luxury. Beef was. We had a lot of chicken. I remember that, and vegetables. She really cooked a lot of vegetables, and cornbread. Just pretty much what she fed us when y'all grew up. Good food.
Dad?
Well, I don't remember when I was little us having many family dinners, meals. Everybody just go
They weren't ever there at the same time. Ain't that
and
right?
around, get what you could find, eat what you could find. And I don't ever remember being real hungry. I mean, I was hungry all the time, but I mean, not starving. There was always something to eat.
He told me he ate oats,
So I ate
not cooked one time. just-
raw
just-
oatmeal because, you had to build a fire in the stove to cook it. And
Well, what other kind of things did y'all have that weren't before you got like indoor plumbing and appliances and things like that? What kind of stuff did you cook on, heat with?
well, when I lived on Nigger Hill in Muskota, well, they had a 4-room house, and one room was a kitchen, one living, and 2 were bedrooms, and a porch on the front, and a porch on the back. We had a coal stove, and each room had a little tiny fireplace that you could burn coal in. So we always had a pile of coal in the backyard, and we'd build fires. And when it was real cold, Pa would bank the fire in the living room with ashes. Then the next morning, just rake them off, and there'd be white hot coals there. And we slept in rooms with no heat. The pea pot would freeze over on a good cold night.
Ooh.
So you had you had an outhouse?
Yeah, we had an outhouse up on an alley. These houses.
You mean everybody used the same one?
No, everybody had their own.
Okay.
but they were on an alley. And it was a company town, the company houses, and the outhouses didn't have pits. They had a huge can of disinfectant, a trap door, and they had the honey wagon, a mule, and a wagon with all these about 10-gallon buckets on it, and a black guy. And every so often they'd come down the alley and they'd change them out. They'd put a new bucket in, take the old bucket with them. And but anyway, when we'd have to go to bed, we had a cold room. I had a little blanket, and I'd get in front of the fireplace. Get it real hot. It'd be smoking. Run, jump in the bed, and cover up.
You had it a lot worse than I did.
Well, we didn't. It was just a normal, everyday thing.
How many people lived in that house?
Well, it was me and Mom and Daddy.
You and Carolyn?
Me and Carolyn and Billy and Jimmy and Jackie and Marilyn. How many is that? 8, 7?
7.
And my grandmother May stayed with us most of the time.
Oh, well, we never did. We always had, I guess we didn't have inside plumbing when I was real little, because I remember bathing in a big old number 3 tub, and it was in front of a fireplace. And I got burned on my hip right there one time, and so there had to be outdoor plumbing there. But I don't remember that much. All I remember is getting burned and being in a tub, big old tub. But we moved to Railroad Street and lived there clear up until I got married. We changed houses from a 3-bedroom from a 2-bedroom to a. Well, no, we didn't ever have 3, did we?
No, that was.
Okay, from a 2 to a 2, but it was a better house. But anyway, we cooked with a gas stove. We never had to cook with, wood, like y'all did.
Right. You had a gas radiant heater.
Yeah, radiant heaters
You
were
remember
big,
those?
real big back then.
That's what everybody had.
Yeah, pretty much.
So how did y'all celebrate things like, think of holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas. How did y'all celebrate those kind of holidays?
Which is
Anything.
Is this making you nervous?
No, it's just hot.
It's not hot.
It's hot. Yeah, it is.
So think about, let's just start with Christmas or Thanksgiving. What was the big holiday? What did y'all celebrate in a big way as a family?
Both of those.
Thanksgiving
Pretty
and
much.
Christmas were the big ones?
Yeah.
Did you do New Year's things at all?
No.
Well, what'd y'all do?
Mother went to church, I'm sure, and I went with her some, I guess. But
And what'd y'all do for Christmas, Mom? Start with you.
oh, well, no, nobody decorated like people do today. You had a tree. And I remember getting a few things, and Mother just always cooked. She, we had a good Christmas dinner and a good Thanksgiving dinner, and
Like with a turkey or?
either that or a hen. Seems like I remember a hen mostly. And but we weren't all that poor that I didn't get presents,
Well, what kind of stuff did you get or look forward to or ask Santa for?
Sometimes a new doll or whatever the latest game was. I wanted that. And I loved tea sets. Little sets of dishes. I love those. Usually got one of those because they'd be broken before the next Christmas.
You'd be playing
Or
house.
yeah.
Bub would break them.
Probably.
Sell them, probably.
We used to have a tree every year. We didn't have lights on it. We'd string popcorn, and it had all that artificial
Garland.
garlands that go with it, and some bulbs. But it was good.
I don't
We always
remember.
got some stuff for Christmas. We'd get a wagon or tricycle and air rifle.
Guns.
Guns, cap pistols. We'd play cowboy.
Nanny had to hide stuff. I mean, really hide it, or they'd get in it before Christmas. She even did that as late as when Larry was young. I remember. I was in the family almost by then. And they just always found what they were going to get before time. Just about.
Did you get stuff in stockings? Did you hang your stockings out? No?
We
What
used
was
to
the
love
big-
a sack full of fruit and nuts.
Fruit and nuts, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, see, we never had, things were seasonal back then. You didn't.
Couldn't get oranges in
year
December.
round.
So
Yeah,
that
that's
was
when you
pretty
could.
special.
Yeah, you got oranges in December.
Okay.
Didn't get them in the summer.
I
You
guess
get oranges and apples, but nuts, like Brazil nuts.
that's why
which
he
we call
loves nuts
nigatoes.
so much, I think.
Because that was a big
Pecans.
deal.
Big treat
Yeah.
for him. I guess we
The
didn't have
candy,
lights
we used
in
to
it
get candy.
either, come to think of it. I don't know what we put on our trees. I don't remember. But when did lights start? Do you remember? Wasn't real young, early when we were teenagers or young, was it?
Do y'all remember, did y'all have listen to radio when y'all were little?
Oh, yeah.
Well-
Sit and look at it just like it was a television.
Well, what kind of stuff did you like to listen to? Do you remember?
Yeah, let's see.
We
You-
used
you
to listen
tell.
to Dick Tracy and Little Orphan Annie and
I'm
the
sure
Green Hornet.
mine was limited. Probably
And,
was something real clean.
Some detective show, I can't remember the name of it. And I used to like to watch or listen to the some.
Was the original amateur hour
There was
on?
an hour show, the one that War of Worlds. I can't remember them. Well, it was GE Radio Theater or some radio theater was
Mhm.
on once a week, and I remember I loved it, and I listened to that War of Worlds, and the next day I couldn't believe everybody had gone nuts over it because it was just a radio show. That was in '39. I was 12 years old. And it was great. I loved it.
It was family shows
Well.
that we
And
all.
Pa would make us all sit down on the floor. The radio would be over there.
So y'all would all listen to
We all
it.
listened to it.
And what were you
We had
starting
one
to say?
radio.
Oh,
Yeah.
it had to be family shows for Mother and Daddy to turn
Well,
it
it was
on,
family
you know.
show.
Well, I know, they all were back then, but I mean, like, was there an amateur hour back then?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought we
It was,
always listened to that. So-and-so's original amateur hour.
Ted Mack?
Ted, no. Yeah, I believe it
I
was.
believe it was, maybe.
Did,
And there were mystery shows too.
Yeah,
And-
Mystery Theater, that's what that was.
And there'd be a little funny, little laughter in there too.
But Pa did pretty good for us. We had a refrigerator
They had the first TV anybody had, I don't
when we
know.
lived on the hill.
And we'd pack up and go over there at night and watch when Brian was baby.
what did Paul do for a living back then when you were little?
Well, when I was real little,
You worked in the mine.
sometime, but it was kind of off and on. Then he did odd jobs, and when we lived on the hill, he did work for in the mines for Tennessee Iron and Coal Company, and he got paid in script. They didn't pay him in money, and he had script you could spend at the company store. Commissary it was called. Or you could take it downtown, the merchants would give you about 90 cents for $1's worth.
But there wasn't ever any left hardly because they had to pay for their food, their rent, the doctors.
We didn't pay for doctors.
Well, I mean, it was part of your package though.
Yeah,
That was,
wasn't any. And there was an empty lot between us and the house next door. And every spring, Pa would get somebody with a mule to come break it up, plant a garden.
He loved to plant gardens.
And we always had a couple of pigs and a bunch of chickens, all penned up, and a milk cow. They used to have to take the cow and stake it out and work and graze all day, and then Pa would milk it.
Daddy never
So
planted
we
a
always
garden.
had,
Big Daddy didn't?
No.
Did he always cut hair? Always.
Always. Ever since, yeah, even up in the country before he might have had to help in the, on the farm up before he moved down to Mobile, but after he moved in there, all he ever did was cut hair.
pig killing was a big deal.
Was that in the fall?
Yeah, and some guys would come by and they'd shoot the pigs and have the water boiling and scrape them and butcher them, and they'd get the head and the liver and for doing the work. And then we'd have fresh pork for a few days, and then
You
we
mean it
had a
didn't
lot
last
of it
but a few
salted
days?
down. Well, yeah, we didn't have a freezer.
That's right.
Even refrigerators didn't have freezers, just a little space for ice to
Mhm.
freeze in.
That you bought, right?
And chickens, we had chickens, and I'd have to go catch a chicken and hold it for Granny Mae, and she'd cut its head off, clean that chicken. We'd have fried chicken.
He had a much harder life than I did, I'll tell you that.
And I remember sitting on the back porch. Pa would go around and get stuff. We had a whole bunch of pears and stuff, and Mom and Granny Mae would can them and cook them. And there was always somebody coming by.
I wish you could have known Granny Mae. She was a
Like-
hoot. What did she do?
Yeah, about half the country was roaming around unemployed.
Mm-hmm.
And these people would come by and they'd always get something.
Even when y'all didn't have much.
Yeah.
Is that a bad memory for you, Dad? Sometimes those things run pretty deep, don't they? Well, take a minute.
We spent a lot of our days walking around and searching. All bottles back then had a deposit. We'd go out trying to find Coke bottles and milk bottles. If we found whiskey bottles, we needed bootleggers we could sell them to. Scrap iron. So we always had, 25, 30 cents, maybe $1.
Mm-hmm.
And on Saturdays, we'd walk to town and go to the movie. And it was 10 cents to get in. You could get a Coke for a nickel. And you could get popcorn for a nickel. For a quarter, and we'd go in and we'd see everything twice.
So they wouldn't kick you out at the end of the first one?
one?
You just sit there.
Sit there.
And see, I couldn't even go to the show.
And on the way home, we walked a railroad track and the trestles, because that was the shortest distance. And we'd talk about those movies all the way home.
Mm-hmm. What kind of movies? Westerns?
Yeah,
or?
mostly westerns. Yeah, on Saturday it was Tom Mix and Nick Gibson and Buck Jones and a whole bunch of those old Hopalong Cassidy.
Yeah.
And then the comics with the Little Rascals and the Three Stooges, and then cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
And there was always a series. And that brought us back every week because, the hero would always fall off a cliff or be killed, and then he'd be back alive the next.
He'd miraculously...
Flash Gordon and Gene Autry had a series. And they had people from outer space.
And then when they came to Mobile, Paul worked at the shipyard, didn't he?
Yep, that's what got us down there.
He got a job at the shipyard?
Yep.
Y'all packed everything up? Is that when
Oh, tell 'em
y'all packed it
about
up
that.
on the flatbed truck?
On the flatbed truck.
Carolyn said she covered her
Some
face
friend
up.
of
She
hers.
didn't want anybody to see her riding in the back of that truck. They looked like grapes of wrath.
Yeah, we did.
She
But
said,
Daddy used to work with guys like hauling lumber and trees and cutting down trees when he wasn't working in the mine.
he always worked,
And he had,
always worked.
Sounded like he was a good provider. He got stuff that even wealthier people didn't even have sometimes.
He
and
worked hard.
one of our big annual things we look forward to was Memorial Day.
Hmm.
And we would all, I would get somebody with a truck, we'd have quilts in the back, and we'd go down to Buxton Cemetery, which was where all of Mama's people were buried. And they'd have, they'd clean off the graves and do everything. It'd be
Well, that don't sound like fun.
people, well, for the kids it was. We didn't do anything. They'd have tubs full of soft drinks, tables a mile long in the churchyard with fried chicken and ham and everything, potato salad you could eat and drink all you wanted to. And with all the cousins, we played with each other. We ran around and see how many, I'm sure I must have drank 10 or 12 Cokes.
Well, I guess it was Memorial Day that we used to go to Pritchard Park. This is way later, and there were games.
They called it some kind of the other day. I can't remember.
You mean in Pritchard? Or
Well,
up there?
up there.
And watch games, and we had speakers from the state. Usually the governor or somebody, big famous name would come and speak. And Daddy went to that all the time, and I usually went wherever Daddy would let me go. Because the only place Mother went was to church, and I had enough of that every now and then.
Did y'all listen to preaching and gospel music on the radio?
Well, sure. Sure.
What about summertime? What'd y'all do in the summer down here in South Alabama?
After I got big enough, I went to the park all the time, went swimming.
So they had a pool.
Yeah. Pretty early on, didn't we? Were you down there when they had that pool?
Yeah.
When I was like 10, 12, 13 like that, I had a pool to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when we lived on the hill, we had a company pool. We had a company clubhouse and pool tables. And we lived in that pool in the summertime. That's the one where Jimmy
Got sucked through the drain.
Sucked through the drain, drained the pool. But that water in that pool was right out of a mountain spring.
Oh.
And you'd be in that water a little while and your lips would be blue and you'd come and you'd lay on the hot paved sidewalk. And after you got real warm, you'd have to get somebody to throw you in because you couldn't go back in voluntarily. Oh, it was cold. And it was just, and it had ball diamonds and all the men played baseball.
Yeah.
And as hard as Pa worked, they were poor, and her Nanny's only sister, they were they had a lot, didn't they, Mom?
Oh, yeah.
They were rich compared to.
Mm.
Floyd was a veteran and he was a miner. And
That's
They
Little
had their
Day
own
and then
Yeah.
Mother and Daddy.
Did you go barefoot in the summertime?
oh Lord, yeah.
Everybody did.
My feet, I could walk on coals, cut glass and everything.
I did too. I mean, mine weren't like that, but I went barefooted all the time. And Mother made me good, beautiful clothes. She could sew real well, so I always looked as good or better than